Hey, welcome back to the Greenish Diaries. Today we're going to be sowing chili seeds. It's January and I just really want to get an early start on these chili seeds. I was really unsuccessful last year. I just sowed them too late and I didn't really have enough light for them. So I'm hoping that this year, sowing them pretty early, getting them germinated earlier in the year and giving them a bit more light, and I should be successful. If you're new here, my name's Nicole. I make videos for the Greenish Diaries and I basically document the things that I do in my day-to-day life to try and be a little bit more sustainable without focusing too much on being perfect. At the moment, this year particularly, I think I'll be focusing quite a lot on my allotment. I've just taken on a second allotment, which is super exciting. So if you haven't seen my tour of that plot yet, then check that video out on my channel. But yeah, let's get into sowing these chili seeds. So let's get into the varieties that I'm planning on sowing this year. So last year I got my seeds from the South Devon chili farm. I have some of those seeds left over, so I'm definitely going to be planting those today. The first one from South Devon chili farm is coffee. So this one is like a brown kind of colour, a coffee colour. It's mild to medium, so just everyday cooking and things like that. So that's the first one that I'm going to sow. The next one is Bangalore Whippet's Tail. These just look really fun, and they are a hot variety, so they should be good for chilies and cooking, things like that. So, and the final one from South Devon Chili Farm is Aji Mango, another hot variety. These ones are bright orange. So yeah, nice variety from them. The other chilies that I am also going to be sowing, I love chilies, hence why there are so many. So I have cayenne. Hopefully I can try and make some chili sauce or sriracha or something like that with those. And I've also got chili shake, that's another hot variety. And then the other two are sweet peppers. So I've got, oh my gosh, Topipo Rosso, anyway, however you pronounce that one, and also Lanny or Laney. So they're all going to be sown today. So my method for germination this year is a little bit different to last year. So last year I sowed individual seeds directly into cells, and then I put them in an unheated propagator on a windowsill, which was definitely not a sunny enough windowsill. So this year I am planning on sowing these onto damp kitchen roll. I will then be putting the plastic containers onto a heated propagator, which I'm going to be putting on a sunny windowsill. Sunnier definitely than last time. So we'll see how that goes. Now, the reason I'm doing it that way is because I should be able to see the seeds individually germinate, and that way I will know when I'm planting that seed into a cell that that seed is viable, and I'm more likely to get a tray full of tiny little chili plants rather than dotted with some that didn't manage to germinate. So that's the theory. Let's get into it and see how it goes. So what I'm then going to do is I'm just going to take just one of these containers, and I am going to take a single piece of paper towel, kitchen towel, whatever you might call it, and then I'm just going to fold this so it roughly fits the base into the base of this plastic container. So it's roughly in thirds for me. It's quite a big sheet. And then probably just fold that edge down. Perfect. So that's what I've ended up with. I'm then going to pour just a bit of water in just to moisten that paper towel. Now I will check these intermittently. I will take off the lid and check that there's enough moisture in there, and if it needs topping up, I'll probably just use a misting spray bottle, something that you might use for houseplants and things like that. Make sure it's not too moist. If you think you've put a little bit too much in, then you can just drain off any excess, just a little bit there. And then you can select your seeds. So the first one I have then is the South Devon Chilli Farm coffee chili seeds. So I already had these from last year, like I said, and on the back of this packet it does tell me that I need to use these seeds within 2 years of purchase. Now they are not going to last long enough to attempt to germinate them next year, so they're all going in whatever I've got left. So I've got quite a few in there. I tip those out into my hand. Yeah, quite a few seeds there. I'm just going to dot these around on this paper towel and make sure that they each have got a little bit of room, so that if I need to take some out, then I'm not disturbing any of the others. So I placed all of those seeds into this tray. I've still got plenty of room in here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sow 2 varieties, or attempt to germinate 2 varieties per container. So I will just make sure that I label them up quite well. So the next variety, again from the South Devon Chilli Farm, we've got Bangalore Whippet's Tail. So those will be the next ones to go in. So that's the Bangalore Whippet's Tail in as well. So you can probably see there, not too many per container, but that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take one of these lids, place it on top, and then I'm going to label it. Fab. So they are all labelled up, and as I said previously, I am going to use heated window propagator this year, and by pure chance the propagator that I have is exactly the right dimensions to fit one of these widthways on here. So I'm going to really maximise how many of these containers I can get onto this propagator. So next I'm just gonna move on to the next ones and continue until I have got all the chili seeds into containers and onto the propagator. So that is all the seeds into the containers. Now the lids have gone on fully. The reason for that is we want to try and keep as much of that moisture and the humidity levels up inside these containers. That's going to help hold the heat, and in turn all of those things are going to help germinate those seeds. I will be checking in on these probably in about a week, and then again in another week, just to see where we're at with them and see if I can see any of them sprouting little tails. As soon as I see them sprouting, then I will start transferring those seeds into cells with seed compost and putting them back onto the heated propagator with the lids ever so slightly ajar. So yeah, that's stage 1 anyway of the chili seeds for 2025. Let me know in the comments if you do anything differently. Do you start off with chili seeds like this, or do you put them straight into seed compost, and do you find that that's really successful for you? I'd love to know. I love chilies. I love growing chilies and cooking with them. So any tips, much appreciated. But yeah, thanks for watching.